All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting the good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So I've been reporting on, the solar eclipse a lot because there's a lot of things that's supposed to be centered around it. And, this is our job. We got to warn the flock. And if these things do come to pass, you can't say that you didn't know. And like I said before, something may not happen on the day of, but the days after, it's a lot of atrocities is going to come. Number one, all we do is prophesy and tell the people about the destruction that's coming upon this place, when it comes to the civil war, when it comes to the famine, when it comes to the famine of the word, which means people ain't gonna know what the hell is going on, what to do, which way to turn, a lot of death. We telling you, because the scriptures tell you that these things are coming and it's inevitable. And if you got the eyes to see, it's plain. But this is some more information. I did a video on this somewhat about, the biological attack, but this man got more information and he got people on the inside, what he said. So we just reported, get a couple scriptures and, stay prayed up.
April 8th, we found some more definitely unsettling information, but we've also learned that the timelines are going to be pretty much more aligned in the way that we're seeing this now. So what we want to do here is first, we looked into Doug and Stacy off grid just yesterday, and we've seen that they've gotten information in about the biological scenario. Now remember, I was the one who got the insider to contact me because I've been in contact with the sheriff that I know for over 6 months publicly, but behind the scenes even more than that. The story though that I want you to see here is the letter that he received about what's coming on the solar eclipse. And I've actually looked deeper into this information to try to see who would be the ones positioning this type of scenario that he's going to mention here. And I've found some more information on that. And then I've looked back into the insider information from the sheriff. And we're going to put timelines up for all this information. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of you and all the new people here and everybody who's been a core audience. Let's check this video out.
All right. So listen, guys, I just want you guys to be totally aware. I don't know if anything's actually going to happen, right? But they're sure putting out a lot of signals out there. Now listen. This is a warning from the Secret Intelligence League planned April 8th solar eclipse biological attack. I don't know if any of this stuff is true. I'm just sharing with you what somebody sent to me. You guys please make your plans accordingly. They're planning a biological attack on April 8th just before the total eclipse. This is how it's going to go down. Planes will be delivering their payload in 3 intervals. First will be 2 hours before totality, a 1 hour before totality, and a final one 30 minutes before totality. The planes will be deploying a dry powder bacterial weapon. I don't know if any of this stuff is true. Again, I'm just reading this, what's been sent to me.
And that's another thing too, right? So these people just speaking information that they heard, and you literally got people, like if you read the comment boards, not on this, but just in general, you read the comment boards, it's like people are going against the people that are warning the people. Like, you should be happy that there's somebody out here warning you. And like this man is saying, I don't know if this stuff is going to happen, but I'm just warning you. And that's the same thing that the prophets do. Because you have people over the years, because the mark of the beast, that is the main thing that been talked about in the past year. Like I'm talking about on the main news and everything. So we report on it a lot. And you got people in the comment boards talking about that's all y'all talk about. Well, what the hell? Listen, the Bible is redundant. The prophets The prophecies are redundant. The word don't change. So I'm just using that as an example. But yeah, so these are the things that we got to report on, because if everybody just like, oh, whatever, ain't nobody gonna listen. It's a lot of people in the world. It may be somebody listening. It might be a person who watched this video who actually was thinking about, going outside at this time to go see, the solar eclipse, while this dry powder of bacteria is falling on your face, So these are the things that you gotta be privy to, man.
I don't know if any of this stuff is true, okay? But please, err on the side of caution. It will not be visible. You won't be able to see it from the planes in the sky. It's meant to infect those through aerosol delivery. The first two planes will be set at the standard altitude. The final plane will be set at approximately 10 to 15,000 feet. The path of the flight will begin in the northeast, and it will travel down the central path of totality heading west. Southwest, keeping in place the totality of the eclipse. They're going to take this in the advantage in the event, because they know there will be guaranteed targets that will be infected, and thus the vectors.
And why would it be guaranteed targets? Because they do everything. They search out everything. They said that it's going to be a lot of people outside looking for this event. So this is why I believe that this is a perfect opportunity to do something like this. This is going to be like the Super Bowl out here.
To spread the contagion. Symptoms will be appearing 7 to 10 days after infection, 30 days after infection. The media will notice 60 days after infection, panic an all-time high, 90 days after infection, newly agreed upon UN-WHO pandemic.
All right, I want to make...
So basically, just went into, the possible after effects. They have something for 30 days later, 60 days later, 90 days later. And by that time, what's that, 3 months? So that's what, May, June, July, middle of the summer. That's when they love to do things. That's when the weather good, And then remember, Joe Biden, he gave over basically the control. He gave the control to the WHO, the WHO. He gave control that if a pandemic come, that the WHO, they able to say, listen, but basically they able to make the rules. I don't even want to really speak on it because, they sensitive now. But yeah, they become the leaders, and they tell you whatever, rules that you got to keep.
You aware of why this is so important for them to do this during the solar eclipse. I also want to make you aware of who is actually using the release dispersals. But the first thing I did when I heard this video was I contacted my source, the sheriff, who I got the original first video out that a lot of people pushed out, and I appreciate that, but I didn't appreciate how Anonymous pushed my video out and he just took the name JWTV out.
Oh, and another thing too, so the scripture that I always quote, everything that is secret should be made manifest, and everything that is hid should come out abroad. Luke 8:17. You have to understand, if you know the scriptures, these are not things that you should be scoffing at. Because I know what people are thinking. How these people know? How is this information getting out here? If they really, really wanted to do this, they would do this in secret. I just told you the scripture. The scriptures also says in Psalm 64:8, he should make their tongues fall upon themselves. So if you know the scriptures, you're supposed to take heed to this information, because the Lord is not going to leave us out here blind. Oh, matter of fact, Isaiah 42:9. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Tell you of what? Prophecy, things that's about to happen in the earth. All right? New things I declare before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Isaiah 42:9. So yeah, this is not a joke. And like I said, if something don't happen on this day, don't think, oh, okay, well, nothing happened on this day. That means nothing never going to happen. It's a long year, baby, and we only beginning of it, and the Lord is showing out.
Credit where credit is due. But moving forward, I contacted my source and I asked him, I said, look, I've heard that 2 hours before totality of the solar eclipse, we're going to have planes dispersing bacterial weapons. I've heard an hour and I've heard 30 minutes.
Oh, and another thing too, and that's very smart too, because by that time, all right. So if it's 2 hours before, you still in the house, you know, you getting the family together. Oh, hey, the solar eclipse getting ready. They already got the shit about to fall down on your face. You know what I'm saying? Like 30 minutes will be a more smarter time, because by that time, you know, it would just be falling right on your face while you looking up and you breathing that shit in. 2 hours before, it's like it's already on earth level, land level, I mean, you know, all on the ground, all in the sky. But yeah, but anyways,
I'm gonna read what he said to me in my text message. He said recently he had to go dark. He cannot say anything more on this subject. And remember, he was actually at this meeting here at Homeland Security. So yes, it is credible. Yes, they did talk about an insider intel on a possible biological attack during the solar eclipse and the election. So
let me get these real quick. Just gonna breeze through them. Come on now, it's acting stupid. Oh, that sucks. Let me see something. Do it like that. All right. I want to read 12 and 13. So it says, stand now with your enchantments, with the multitude of your sorceries, wherein you hast labored from your youth, because this is the same serpent, the same spirit that was in the garden. All right. From your youth, if so be, you should be able to profit. If so, you be thou mayest prevail. I want to look up this word enchantments and sorcery. So chabar, an association, company, band, shared association, society, a magician, charmer, spell, because everything that they do is all about seduction. It's all about persuasion. Now, sorcery, it goes into fortune telling. That's why they put all their stuff in the Simpsons. They put all their stuff in the movies. You know, Super Bowl commercials. That's the sorcery. But what people don't get is that the Lord is the one that give his mind to them, because they fulfilling the Lord's will. See, so the people on the earth, they are in a trick bag. The leaders of this world are in a trick bag. The Lord have heart in their heart, for they can fulfill the Lord's will, but they actually think that they doing something. The people looking at these people as God, this is the reason why they do it that way. Because it's called revelation of the method. So they tell you, all right, and with the hope of demoralizing you, and to make you be like, damn, all right, every time something is in the movie, it come to pass. What do the scripture says? He sit in the seat of the Most High, calling himself the Most High. He's trying to show you that everything that I say goes, to the point that you just bow down and just accept everything. So it's a method to his doings. And what is sorcery at? Kashap. Sorcery, witchcraft. Yeah. So, yep. Magic, sorcery, witchcraft. So that's how they're able to do these things on the left-hand side. Remember, it said that spiritual wickedness in high places in Ephesians 6 and 12. Now, going back, let me see if it worked now. Nope, still don't work. Oh, there we go. This thing tripping now. I finally had scriptures lined up that I ain't have to remember anything but the water Yahweh Bashim Abishai for the mind that he gave me. But man, I had these lined up, and then when I go to them, they ain't there no more. Whatever. So it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As you see, since January to April, it's been nothing but plagues, and it's going to continue to increase. And when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, the Lord giving you an example. Even so shall not the plagues be slacked to come upon the earth. The world shall mourn, sorrows shall come upon it every side. Now, if this happens on April 8th, the solar eclipse with this biological attack, that's a plague. So the plagues from this point on is going to continue to increase. Well, back to the video.
We're going to move into the scenario at hand here. Who is actually spraying stuff? And then I looked into who deals with the chemical and biological shipments and movements. And what I came into was that this ship was one of the Hercules.
So yeah, like, why is they doing this? Why are they changing, aircrafts? What's the point of this? Because they need to change the aircraft to be able to put forth this mission that they're trying to do.
These ones, this is what they call it.
So Chemical Biological Center helps Air Force design, test, and field large CV-19 transport compatible in record time.
And
they need this. They need fast aircrafts to be able to perform this. They can't use, the ones that they've been had.
What I found was that the Air Force was...
Look at this one. It's the Air Force Reserve C-130J-30 Super Hercules prepared to take over aerial spray. Now, let's look what Hercules is about.
C-130J-30 Super Hercules prepared to take over aerial spray ops 4 hours ago. Now, they already did beta testing. They did beta tests in Mississippi. They did beta tests in Ohio, where they say they were spraying water. But who knows how far it goes? And you ask the question, okay, so why the Super Hercules? And are they actually releasing this? Is it actually being dispersed? Well, we're going to get to all that here. We're going to get to it, and we're going to tell you that this is the first line of the scenario that I want you to understand. The Hercules, the Super Hercules, the reason why they would pull that out is because if you go back to ancient Greek mythology, Hercules, actually his birthday or something like that, something around the solar eclipse, as you look on screen here. It says the most famous myth associated with solar eclipses involve the god of Apollo and his...
The god of Apollo. Now remember, they're supposed to be shooting missiles at the solar eclipse, or shooting rockets at the solar eclipse. All right, in the name of their god, Apollo, which is a demon god, an Egyptian demon god, which means chaos. And that's why I read Isaiah 47 of stand downs with your enchantments. They're not going to work anymore. Everybody see your bullshit. Everybody is got their eyes on you. As the scripture says in Jeremiah 49:10, he had made Esau bare, he cannot hide himself.
Son, the hero Hercules. According to one version of the myth, Hercules' birth was associated with the solar eclipse, symbolizing the temporary darkening of the sun. So that's why the military would need to use a Hercules plane. Let's move further into this operation here that they're talking about. C-130J-30 is what we're talking about here.
They do all these things in the name of their God. And we do everything in the name of our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who will prevail. Because as the Lord said in Psalms 96:5, the gods of the nations are idols. They're not real. But they still do these things in the name of their gods, thinking that they're actually doing something. But the Lord controls all. As I said, the Lord got all these leaders, all these rulers in a trick bag.
They're taking over the spray ops, and we're talking biological. So let's move on.
And one more comment, and I'm allowed the rest of this video play out. And the beautiful thing about being in the truth and knowing the truth is that we understand that it's only one power, and that one power deals with us. Now, all these idols, they got names for them, but they all go back to Satan, which Satan give instructions. Get instructions from our power. Read the book of Job, the first 2 chapters. All right. So all these people is doing is everything that the Lord wants them to do. Yes, chaos going to come. Yes, this can possibly happen. And if it does happen, that means we just closer, to getting the salvation that we all hope for, because destruction got to come before salvation.
Into it says, based on Youngstown Air Reserve Station, Ohio is pretty unique. Department of Defense, the only way with aerial spray capability and dedicated aerial spray maintenance flight. And the Air Force created special air spray flight to reduce troop loss due to vector-borne diseases. So they've equipped these fleets to supposedly fight against biological scenarios. Check it out. Spraying for disease-carrying pests, DoD installations, anti-foliage operation, and bombing ranges to decrease inadvertent brush fires and to expose unexploded ordnances after bombings. The U.S. Air Force programs also maintain a standby readiness capability using oil dispersing agents in neutralizing open water oil spills, and vector control over metropolitan areas after natural disasters. The aircraft are also used for mosquito control and aerial spray missions to assist civil authorities to fighting pests and insects. Could people be pests and insects to them? That's the question you gotta ask. Testing has been recently conducted over Station Ohio. Told you about that. That's already confirmed. And we go further here. It says on March 21st, 2024, the first time in history, DoD aerial spray 910AW unique electronic modular aerial spray was installed into. So electronic modular aerial spray system. It was installed from Keesler Air Force Base in Mississippi. Test was passed on March 25th, 2024 with successful spray application at Youngstown ARS. So again, it says a spray modified troop doors to accommodate the spray booms. Check it out though, like if we look this up, if we look up C-130J, and what does that look like? That looks like this right here. It's not the C-130, because if you look up the C-130, you're gonna just not even get the same one. But when you look it up, actually, it doesn't show it on flight radar. It shows just the original C-130, not the C-130J-30. And this is all you're going to see. You're going to just see a couple of these planes. So,
yeah, so that's a lot, man. And like I said, the video about to end in 5 seconds. So, so we just reporting, hey, man, at the end of the day, Lord willing, this do come to pass. So I just want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. And all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.